What do you think about CPAC 212? That's what I want to know. I'm excited to be here. This is the big day I've been waiting for. I smell my people out here, my God. I am looking at conservative Americans, 3,000 sitting in D.C. Let me tell you why I love conservatives. You believe in the Judeo-Christian values that our founding fathers stood on to make this great nation. Let me tell you what else I love about you. You think this is the greatest nation the world has ever known. And let me tell you why else I love conservatives. Because you hunt, you fish, and you don't apologize for it. And that's why I love conservative people. Oh. I am so sick of this politically correct, don't shoot the animals, they might get their feelings hurt. You're conservative, you don't even pretend to be animal rights activists. You people are like, see the bunny, shoot it, eat it, make a hat. Out of the right, that's a cute bunny. Yeah, that was a cute bunny. Is that a snake? No, that's a boot right there, put that on. That's America. Shoot it, eat it, you got a head left over, hang it on your wall. Why? Because the founding fathers believed in personal responsibility. If you're hungry, go find some stinking food. That's how it used to be. You know, that's what kills me. When people try to redefine the founding fathers, you know, if the founding fathers were around, they'd be giving tax breaks to everybody. Let me explain something. The founding fathers were ruthless. These guys were about as conservative as it can be. Let me tell you something. If you didn't have a house back in the founding fathers, they didn't give you subsidies. They gave you an axe. Hey, Jedediah, see them woods over there? That's your new duplex. Better get going, boy. I think the snow's a-coming. Why? Because the founding fathers knew that this great nation could not get anywhere if people didn't accept personal responsibility. If they did not accept the idea that if you're going to make it here, we will provide you an opportunity, but you're going to have to do the work. The founding fathers were men, not wussies. It's the wussification of America that's killing us. Are you kidding me? And where does the wussification come from? That cancerous ideology, or should I say idiotology, that has made us begin to crumble from within, that cancerous polyp that I spend every Monday morning on Fox and Friends trying to destroy. And of course I'm speaking about political correctness. Let me explain something to you, my brothers and sisters. I want to watch political correctness die in my lifetime. But first, I want to watch it suffer. And as long as I have a mic, a mind, and a mouth and a First Amendment, I'm going to do my best to take care of that problem. It's called courage, my friends, and speaking the truth at all times. I know that because I am a Christian, I am a conservative, and I believe the United States is the greatest country on earth. And because of those three belief systems, when I die, I'll be stuffed and mounted and put in the Smithsonian under the Why He Never Got His Own Sitcom display. Because to stand up for what I believe in and what you believe in costs you something in a liberal media that doesn't have the courage to see their own dysfunction. So I'm sitting here pointing it out every stinking chance I get. That's what I do. I believe in the First Amendment. You know, political correctness kills me because it's so arbitrary. What it does is it creates a counterfeit reality and demands you worship it. There was a school in Washington that said they wanted to have a Halloween celebration. So they told the kids, you can dress up. But here's what they actually told these kids. But you can't dress up like a witch. You ready why? Because there was a woman from the local Wicca chapter that was offended by the stereotype. Excuse me, but if I offend you because you are a witch? Who cares? Are you serious? Since when did offending witches become problematic in the United Stinking States of America? I've read about you. You poison apples. You throw Hansel and Gretel in the oven. You killed the stinking princess. You ride around on brooms. I'm thinking if there's anybody I shouldn't have to fret about offending, it's a witch. And by the way, if I offend you and you're a witch, or no, isn't there a potion for that? Maybe some eye of newt, some bat wings, because I'm thinking, if you can affect the stinking world with incantations, I think you'd have bigger fish to fry than being offended by a 6-year-old in striped socks and a pointed hat trying to score a Kit Kat bar at Halloween, you dork. Put a helmet on. What in the world has happened to us? This is why I come to conservative places. Why? Because conservatives do something different than liberals. Conservatives make strong women, but they also don't take their men down in the process. They allow men to be men, be powerful, strong, and stand up for those principles. You see, we don't allow that to take place. It takes liberal ideology to try to take the power and the strength that men have that they want to use whenever they can. When did it happen? I remember in the 70s. In the 70s, you know what they told me? You know what? Gender doesn't really matter. It's not even real. Give boys dolls, they'll play with them. That's what they told us. Give boys dolls, they'll play with them. And it's true. Boys will play with dolls. You know we play? Pull its head off. That's what we play. We play how many M80s will it take to blow the crud out of Barbie? Because we're guys. We're different. And that's how it's always been. Men have different ways, and yet they came to us and tried to take away our masculinity. Find your feminine side. Talk about sexist. Have you ever heard someone come up to a woman and say, find your masculine side? And by the way, women, if you find your masculine side, I'm not interested. Thank you so much. Find your feminine side. Let me explain something to you, my brothers. I found my feminine side. You know what I did? I married her. I'm good. Thank you so much. I got feminine side 24 hours a day. You have got to be kidding me. Why do we do those things? Why do we lose those ideas? Because we need to know that there are specific ways that things work in this country. Our founding fathers believed that. We believed in differences, and it was okay. We celebrated them. When I was growing up, they had a boys' bike and a girl's bike. Then again, when I was growing up, they had a thing called a boy and a girl. I know. Who thought that was going to get complicated? If you don't know what a difference is, a girl's bike was a regular old bike, but it had a big slot right out in the middle so you could slide right in. Boy's bike was like a girl's bike, except it had an iron bar welded from underneath the seat straight into the frame, and there was no ambivalence about your gender, because the first time you took it for a ride and your foot slipped off the pedal, you knew you were a boy. But we got kids here that don't know what I'm talking about. There's some younger kids here. Where's some kid? There's a kid right there. How old are you, son? 17. You're at the right place, my brother. You're here to learn something about life. Let me tell you something. You know what you know at 17? Nothing! You know nothing! That's why you're here, amongst conservatives who treasure the value system and everything that made this country great. Because when we got into this country, my brother, you ready for this? We came on boats, buddy, and it was hard. It was hard. And if you think that you had to be a tough human being to come on boats in the 1500s, that wasn't enough. They brought their kids. And the kids didn't complain. They threw up a lot, but they didn't complain. And so we got the entire eastern seaboard established, but we said that's not enough. That's not enough. We want to go west and see if we can make a free democracy. Let's see if we can allow every age, color, creed, and history to come together and melt into one idea. And so they got on covered wagons, and they went for months and months and months through hard terrain. Guess what, 17? They didn't have Game Boys. They didn't have texting. They didn't have computers. They didn't have radios. They didn't have downloads. And the kids weren't going, are we there yet? You know why? Because there was no there yet. We're going to go find it there. Every time I talk to 17, he's looking that way. I didn't know what was going on. I'm right there. That's the television culture we've created, my friends. Hey, 17, get your money's worth. See that guy? I'm right here. Kid doesn't know what to do. He doesn't go away. What's happening? 17. We went west and we created the greatest nation on earth, and then we got cars, and cars are good because they allow us technology, and America has always been the first in technology when we were allowed to be. But the problem with cars is they're too fast, too quick, and the problem is that's what was so great about the old days. When a place is hard to get to, you appreciate it when you arrive. Cars are too fast, too safe. That's all I'm saying. We got to make it dangerous to drive again. First thing we got to do, we got to get these airbags out of the stinking cars. 17 doesn't know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something, brother. When I was growing up, they used to have dashboards made out of metal. You got in a wreck, you paid for it. You were weeded out so the good drivers had more room. That was America. But 17 doesn't know what I'm talking about. He's 17 stinking years old. He's never been in a bagless car. You probably thought cars have always had bags. You probably thought the Model T had bags. Wasn't sophisticated, just a midget with a paper sack. No, bags are new, but we wussified you, son. We wussified you. You grew up with sneaking a bag and a bag and a bag, and you sat in the front seat with a mandatory seat belt. I used to sit in the front, no bag, no belt. You know what protected me? Mom's arm. But 17 doesn't know, because all he's ever had is a bag and a bag and a bag and a mandatory seatbelt, and you spent the first 5 years of your life right in the back, right in the middle, with a 5-point harness car seat so you couldn't get hurt, and you probably learned how to ride your bike wearing a helmet, you big baby! If I'd worn a helmet learning to ride my bike, my friends would have beaten me up. And they should have. Why? Because it's once again the politically correct false world that liberal ideology creates. We'll create a world where pain is an aberration. No, it's not. We're a fallen world. No, it isn't. Everything's good. And we'll just make everything nice. And if pain happens, it's never your fault. It's never your fault. It's always somebody else's fault, preferably somebody with assets. Let me explain something to you, my son. You don't understand this, and you're never going to. But we are a lineage of people that were willing to go to this place with one idea and one idea only. If you're willing to work hard enough, if you're willing not to look to government for a handout, if you're willing to simply be provided the opportunity to be the best you can be without crying and whining and being wussified, if you're willing to take whatever comes your way, you can become anything you want to be. To a group of people that now need signs warning them that coffee is hot. If you didn't know coffee was hot, put a helmet on. But son, you don't know what I'm talking about, because at one time in this country, including Jefferson, the famous deist that prayed, which means he didn't even know how to be a good deist. Let me tell you something, son. Here's what he said. We're going to use the Bible and God's Word to know who we are as a nation. We got rid of him, had to get rid of him, so we had to replace it with self-esteem. You always have to worship somebody. The state, yourself. Once God's gone, self-esteem. And we've wussified these poor kids. Johnny can't play in the monkey bars. What if he falls down, skins his knee, and ruins them? We move monkey bars. Or if we have to have them, they're double-coated in rubber with some kind of trampoline device. You can't possibly get hurt. I had monkey bars. You know what they put them over? Asphalt! Johnny can't tie a shoe. What if he doesn't learn how to do it and feels embarrassed because he's not as good as the other kids? Let's put Velcro straps on children's shoes. Oh! Crying out loud, are you kidding me? And the pièce de résistance, the antibacterial wipe. How have we survived as a species without the antibacterial wipe? Johnny, don't touch it till I mop it down thoroughly with an antibacterial wipe. God forbid you get a germ inside of you, a germ. No wonder we have a multi-billion-dollar antibiotic industry. We don't let enough germs get inside 17 so his body can learn to fight it off the way we learned to do. If you really love that kid, the next time he drops a sucker in the dirt, pick it up, blow it off, and shove it back in his mouth the way we had to do. That was America. Look at 17. You mean you didn't have antibacterial wipes? We did. Mom spit in a Kleenex and wiped our face. And look how we turned out, brother. This is how we turned out. If there's a missing link in the conservative movement, my friends, it's the comedy factor. Jon Stewart and Bill Maher's affecting more people than half the politicians and theologians. My friends and my brothers, let's work together and fight the good fight, because whether you like it or not, President Obama, the truth is marching on. Good night, everybody. I'm out. I'm out.